So
We're called the Gaming Nexus
Oh,
show.
there you go.
Did
Yeah.
you-
No, there,
Did
yeah.
you forget?
No, I know.
forget. Did you forget?
So each week, the four of us bring something, or Max usually just brings himself and kind of share it with the rest of us. Although I was promised lore from praying mantis lore or whatever, so.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, why would you say it and not bring it? It's so disappointing.
I got
Yeah.
praying mantis lore.
To disappoint you.
Yeah,
He
well,
says it to disappoint you.
that's true. I
What?
guess. That's what
I
I
got
did.
praying mantis lore.
Zorak?
plenty.
Zorak, can you
Zorak.
help me?
Is that the dude from Space Ghost?
Yes. Zorak. It's awesome.
Oh,
I was more of a
man.
Moltar guy, but that's fine. So Netflix is kind of interesting. They don't like really share how many people watch their stuff, like at all, right? At best, they tell you how many people are watching a show for at least 2 minutes. So until literally yesterday, they would be like, "Hey, this is how many people watch our shows," and the metric that they would use to show you that they were watching was, "This is how many people watch our shows or movies for at least 2 minutes," and that's what they use as their metric, and that's what they gave out publicly, which is
Right.
kind of like a terrible metric, I think. Right? For an hour-long show, you watched at least 2 minutes of it, so like you got to the beginning credits and you're like, this isn't for me. But literally yesterday, they decided they're going to show us how many people are actually watching their shows and movies.
How?
I was a little surprised by the show list because I have not watched most of these. So they give us the top 10. Do you guys want to take guesses on what is on the top 10?
All right, hold on.
I already
Wait,
looked
wait.
it up, so I ruined it.
Okay.
Wait. So, like, on my Netflix account, when I log in for the last, 6 months or so, there's been a top 10, right?
Right.
Like, so are you saying that now they're providing, viewing numbers with this top 10?
Here's the top 10, the Netflix most popular shows in the history of Netflix.
Oh, in the history of Netflix.
And what their metric is
Oh.
they're using the first 28 days of that show or movie being out, right? And they're doing it by season, not necessarily by series. So
Okay,
a
and it's
couple
still-
of
is this-
shows make several seasons on the top 10.
Is it still
Now,
2 minutes?
There are
No.
two lists here.
There's two lists. There's the 2-minute list, which who gives a shit, right? That means nothing,
Right.
right?
Means nothing.
And then
yeah.
there's the actual by hours list. This is how many people have been watching whatever. This is how many hours they have when watching it, and this is the ranking that it's at.
So series definitely have the advantage over
Well,
Netflix movies,
they have
right?
two lists. They have an additional list of here's the shows and then here's the movies.
Okay.
So-
Okay. I feel like I
So-
got a grip on it now.
All right, so you want to give me some shows that you guys think are on the top 10 other than Joe, because of course Joe already looked.
I'm already looking. Cheating.
The Crown.
No.
All right, we're going back and forth. Stranger Things.
Which season?
1,
No.
No.
2.
Season 2 is the number 8 is the number 8th watched series at 427 million hours.
Max is on the board.
What about that dumb Full House thing?
No.
Good.
Which is The Office on Netflix?
No.
Because it was for a while,
No,
right?
these are Netflix originals. Sorry.
Oh,
Which
okay.
you've all been naming so far until. So you want to I'll give you another guess there.
Dragon Prince.
No.
Yeah,
No
Dragon
Dragon.
Prince
Yeah.
should be number 1.
Dragon.
Number one
House
in
of
our
Cards.
heart. No.
House of Cards.
No.
Mm.
All
Wait,
right, I'm
what's the
gonna
one with
lead
John
1-0.
P?
Hey.
Outer Banks.
No.
I love Outer Banks. It's so stupid. I love it.
That Guillermo del Toro one with the and they're the kids and they do magic, but then there was another one where they were in space, and then another one they were wizards, which was kind of like the first one.
Oh,
You guys
I
know what I'm
like
talking
that.
about?
I
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
I have no
like
idea
that.
what
That's
that
a
is.
good.
What's that called?
That's
Troll
really good.
Hunters.
No.
What is
Troll
it?
Hunters.
Troll Hunters. Yeah, that is good
Yeah.
with Kelsey Grammer. No, that's great.
It's
The
not on
animation
there.
in that is bomb. It is so good.
Elliot,
I've
let
never
them
heard
get
of
their
it.
excitement out before you kill it.
No. Well,
All right.
isn't it a little telling that you've named one thing out of the whole list? Isn't that
All right,
a
give us
little
the
telling?
list.
All right, so
It is.
at 10 we have Ginny in Georgia, season 1. I don't even know what that one is. 381 million hours. At number 9 we have Money Heist Part 3 at 426 million. Number 8, Stranger Things season 2,
People didn't watch 1 and
427. Yeah, that's the other thing that's kind of weird. Is like
Why part 3? Maybe 1 and 2 are shorter.
You season 2, 457 at number 7.
What? Really?
Yeah.
13 Reasons Why season 1 is at 6. 13 Reasons Why season 2 is at 5.
Fuck.
Ooh, I have another
476
guess.
and-
I have
yeah.
a last minute guess.
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
where they drew the dicks.
No,
No.
One where they drew the dicks is a good one
No.
too. Yeah. that's-
Yeah, the one.
Not
the
on
Dix
here.
one's
The Dix one.
fantastic. The Witcher
Oh man,
is at 4 at 541 million.
I forgot about that.
Stranger Things season 3, 582 million. Money Heist Part 4, 619 million. And
What the
number
fuck
1.
is Money Heist?
Oh, Money Heist is phenomenal. Oh, you love Money Heist.
Oh yeah.
Heist is
4
real
more
good.
than part 1.
Yeah,
The
isn't that
Circle.
crazy?
Number 1 is The Circle.
No.
No.
Bridgerton.
Oh, man.
Bridgerton. Come
Bridgerton.
on.
Oh
625.
fuck me. God,
Like Sexy Crown.
Americans'
Yeah,
taste is
sexy
Sexy
Crown.
Crown. Sexy
You know
Crown.
what? Actually, my
Bridgerton's
wife and I
pretty
were
good.
responsible for watching 7 episodes of Bridgerton, so 7 of those hours are mine.
Way to
Notice
go, you
not
fuck.
10 hours because we fucking bailed because that show is boring.
Oh, so you've been saying Bridgerton. See, I haven't heard of that. I thought you said Richard Head, like a euphemism for dickhead.
Yeah. For
Richard
sure.
Head.
Yeah,
Richard Head.
You know.
The movies,
Ricardo Cabeza.
I think are
Sorry, go
even
on.
harder to guess than the shows. Did you feel that way, Joe?
Oh no, Eric, I'm sure you have one of these. Come on.
I'm sure you get some
Extinction.
of them. No.
Extinction is probably
Oh
on
no,
there,
no.
right?
Extraction, you mean?
Extraction. Yeah. Extraction.
That's
the
number
one,
two. Number 2.
The one with Thor. The one where Charlize Theron, where she gets injured and comes back and comes back to life. She's kind of
Fast and
immortal.
Furious.
No.
I
it
know
was
what you're
real
talking
good.
about, but
the
it
Old
was
Guard.
really good.
I think it's called The Old Guard.
It's on
That's
here.
Good.
Yeah,
That's a
number
good
9.
one.
Number 9.
Oh, Eric's pulling ahead.
There you
I
go.
gotta catch up. Netflix.
What about
reviews.
the Zack Snyder thing with the zombies?
Army of the Dead's
Yep.
number 8. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, the animated one where she writes on her hand a lot, and there's robots, and it's like the tech apocalypse.
Oh, that's a good
Oh, the
one.
Mitchells versus the
Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah.
It's not on here, and that pisses me
What?
off.
That
It
is a
might
good
be the
one,
best
though.
movie they've done.
That
Like,
is a great fucking movie.
It is.
Mitchell's versus Machines. Go watch
It
it,
is.
everybody, right
It
now.
is.
If
It's
you're listening,
fantastic.
stop listening to this podcast and go watch it right now. And then
It
come
is
She
back.
writes on
phenomenal.
her hands.
It is really good.
So, 10, Murder Mystery. Never heard of it.
Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston. Actually, kind
Oh,
of funny.
okay.
Actually, kind of funny. Yeah, it's all right.
Bold statement, Cotton. 9 is The Old Guard. 8 is Army of the Dead. 7 is Enola Holmes. How could you forget?
Not bad. It gets a little slow.
Yeah, I got real
Gonna,
slow.
gonna give my critical response to each of these.
There you go.
Yeah,
please.
Spencer Confidential is number 6.
Mark Wahlberg didn't watch it.
6 Underground was number 5. I actually thought that one was actually okay. That's the
It was
Ryan
okay.
Reynolds one. It's okay.
That's
Michael
Ryan
For what
Bay.
it is.
It was okay.
More
Can't
like
do that,
5
Michael Bay.
Am I right?
Yep, it was definitely Michael Bay.
Yeah, but see, I get in the mood for that sometimes. Just when the lighting is right, and you're feeling it. The Kissing Booth 2 was number 4. The Irishman is number 3, which is absolutely terrible. Horrible.
Wow.
Oh, dude, it's too long for nothing. And they all look so old. They move
Oh my-
so old.
And we
He's
are
back.
Old people.
we are
man.
Ageism is back.
we are 2 shows in a row where Elliot
But they,
hates
like-
old actors.
But they make them look young, but then they move like
No.
they're old. Like that's
No,
the
I'm gonna
problem.
write
Like,
this
they
down
make him
from now
look
on.
like he's 50, but he's really 70.
Listeners,
He's a
Elliot,
70-year-old that looks like
if
he's
you're
50.
70,
Oh.
do not listen to this podcast.
You're
'cause
dying
Elliot
in a
hates
week
you.
anyway. I don't care.
Wow!
He doubled down on it, man. You have
All
to
right.
double down. You can't just like.
Do you?
You
Elliot,
can't let
I
up.
will say with the Irishman that the de-aging was a little distracting at points. I just watched Captain Marvel the other day with my kids, and man, they just crush
They
it with Sam
nailed it,
Jackson the
man.
entire
They do.
time.
Mm.
Like you can't even, you just forget that it's
Yeah.
that he's like a big special effect running around through the entire
Marvel's
movie.
basically fixed, or like since like Tony Stark did it in what was it where he they made him look young?
Yeah,
Was that Winter
Civil
Soldier?
War.
Civil War.
Yeah,
They've really come a long way since that. It's crazy how far they've come.
yeah. So but I did enjoy the Irishman. Okay, let's hear number 2 and number
Yeah.
1.
2 is Extraction, and 1 is Bird Box.
Oh yeah, Bird Box.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
Bird
kinda-
Box.
Yeah.
I forgot about that Bird Box.
Yeah.
What was it? Were they all blind?
No,
Were
it's
they all
the,
deaf?
The
They couldn't make
monsters hunt
noise?
by the, if you open your eyes, you can see the monsters, or the monsters can see you and they eat you or something.
Right, got to
So you
keep
have
your
to-
eyes closed.
What?
Yeah, you got to keep your eyes closed.
Got to keep your eyes closed, or the monsters get you.
Yeah, she's got
Yeah, I
kids.
saw all the memes for that Bird Box and didn't watch it because of the memes, but I didn't know.
Oh, it was good.
why.
Yeah,
It's
it was
not
that
bad.
thing when they're on the river and there's bad stuff happening on the river and they're in the boat and it's a bird
know.
box.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
then Bird Box, and then Bird Box comes to save the
The
day.
bird box.
I think if nothing else,
Bird
if we
Box.
haven't learned much about Netflix, we've learned a lot about our collective inability to describe movies in a cohesive manner.
Oh my god.
No
We're
old
back.
people
They're
though, so
like,
it's okay.
oh, you know, it's like they're on
Shut
a
up,
boat and
Elliot.
bad stuff happens, and
You guys know who else has a bird box?
Hmm.
KFC.
I'm definitely playing the wah wah music after that. I will edit that shit in. I will definitely. That's definitely a wah wah. That is
We got that
definitely
bird
gonna-
bucket too.
Oh, two. Now I gotta do it again.
GDEX,
Fuck you, Eric.
cancel us.
Stop.
Netflix
Cancel
ought to make
us,
the sequel.
GDEX, right now.
They ought to make a sequel called Bird Bucket.
Ew.
Oh my god, a third? I have to do it a third time? Shit, man. Episode will be out tomorrow, next day.
Spin-off Biscuit Bucket.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Crushing it. Fucking nailing this
Are you?
podcasting thing.
Oh man.
All right, well that
All
was
right,
fun.
well, there you go.
Joe, did you bring anything to share this week?
Nope. I got
All right.
nothing.
Well, here. I got. Do you
My
really
man.
not have anything? Because I do have
I
something
really have nothing.
All right. Do you have to deal with the whole hate raids thing on Twitch at all? Is that anything you've encountered?
I don't, but I know people who have,
Okay.
and it's for real.
Well, explain it to
and-
everybody if you would, to the
So
listeners.
what's happening is what can happen is if you're on Twitch, people who are watching a previous channel can take everybody who's watching their stream and come to yours. They can click a button and they can bring all of their watchers to your stream, right? And you
Which
get
is
rated.
fun.
You get rated. It's super fun. Everybody gets all crazy about it. They send like, they send, donations and money and everybody gets all hype about it or whatever. And it's super cool. It's super cool to happen. It, brings, the community together. Super cool. What's happening now is someone started hate rating. So what they do is they bring bots with them. And all these bots and regular people, combined with regular people, just, N-word this and fuck you and hope you get, killed in an alley. Like, it's fucking nuts. Like, it's crazy. And Twitch is trying to get ahead of it, and they can't because they're happening at such an erratic rate. Like, nobody knows when they're happening, but then they report them, and then Twitch is like, well, it happened. We can't do anything in
yeah,
post.
it's too late at that point.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's insane. On September 1st, I know a bunch of Twitch users did not stream at all.
For a day,
to-
right?
Yeah, for a day, to protest this, and I don't think it changed anything. So Twitch is trying to implement new technology in to avoid
right.
this, but I mean, you can't, right? So
I mean,
Well, here, you want to hear what they're doing? Because
yeah,
not
please.
Really.
it's kind of weird. I don't think it's going to do anything. So, first off, here's what
what
Twitch
Twitch
has
is
to say.
what Twitch is doing.
Yeah, what they're trying
I thought
to
you
do
were
to
going to
combat
say
it.
you want to tell me want me to tell you in detail
No.
more about the awful
No.
things
Oh my
that these
God.
streamers are doing to other. And I was like,
Jesus
Elliot,
Christ,
I
man.
don't.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've had friends of friends, like acquaintances that have been like have had it happen to them, and they just like they're like, I'm gonna stop streaming for a week. Like it just turns them off from like wanting to be a part of that community. Like they're just like, I'm just gonna take a break for a little bit, and maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't. Like, thanks guys.
Yeah, my Twitch following has been very low lately.
Do you think it has
very
anything to
low.
do with that?
I know it has something to do with it.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, I it started and again, it's happening to everyone. It's not just huge. It's not just people with huge followings. It's happening to small streamers. It's happening to the chat streamers. It's happening to everybody, and it's insane. You can't get to it fast enough. You could have moderators on standby, and they can't get to them fast enough.
So here's what Twitch has to say. Curbing this type of behavior is and will continue to be a top priority for us. No shit. We're optimistic that this will have a significant impact on curbing any kind of chat-based harassment, including targeted bot attacks. So what they're going to do is Twitch has announced the new steps it's taking to protect users against targeted harassment on the platform, including a new feature, phone verified chat. The new setting will enable streamers to require that, quote, some or all of its users verify a phone number before chatting. This comes from Polygon, who talked to Twitch literally today as of recording. So they're literally unrolling that feature today. So Joe, verifying users with a phone number, what's that do? Is that doing anything?
Wouldn't that would make it harder for users to instantly access the stream, right? Because some people gotta go. You have ads showing, right? Then you gotta put in your phone number, and then you know what I mean, like to go through all the 2-step verification. I guess this is the way it has to do, but why isn't there extra security?
Would that be you have to answer a text for every stream you watch, or is that just your account should be verified? So when you're setting it up, they're like, hey, let me confirm you can answer a phone.
So it sounds like it's you're verifying your email or your phone number to be like, hey, we know who you are because you verified with your phone number. Not so much.
It wouldn't have to be every time.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
so. But it's Twitch verifying, not the streamer, right?
Yes.
So
they're also going to add an email verified chat as well in the near future that'll be able to tailor their chat rules according to all kinds of different standards. They're saying. The example that they're giving on Polygon, creators can set it so that only users who have been following under a certain period of time need to even be verified. So if I've been following Joe for 3 months, Joe can set it so I don't have to be verified because
he knows me. Right. He knows who I am. He's okay.
And they're allowing the feature will let you to verify up to 5 accounts with 1 phone number. So so then right? That's what I thought too, right, Eric? You're okay.
5 accounts with 1 phone number?
Yeah. Up to 5 accounts. So you'll be able to have I don't know who has more than 1 Twitch account. Do people have more than 1 Twitch account? Is that something I'm being ignorant about?
I guess.
I guess they could. But there's this thing called Google Phone, and you can just go out
you can just go and get a phone number.
Get a phone number for every email that you have, email address that you have.
And be cool for a week and a half.
Gmail, and you can go out and get an email, and then you can get a phone number for that email, and you can set bots up to do that shit, and just get emails and phone numbers all damn day. And I bet you could probably train a bot to run through that verification process too.
Easy.
Because you can do it all on your PC with the Google phone number. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be terribly successful.
But what do you do, right? Is there
ban them? So if the person instigating this hate raid needs to have a critical mass of people in their chat in order to bring enough over to a victim to cause
not necessarily so they can have bots also in their chat and bring all that shit over with them.
Oh, so they could just be streaming themselves typing at the computer. Nobody's actually watching them, and they're just spinning up 1,000 bots to watch their own channel to
then come over and just be like,
but
here you go.
Even still, if you report oh, I got hate raided, it shouldn't take long for a human to look at the stream of your stream and be like, oh yeah, it happened. Let's ban. You could just instantly ban the person that sent him over.
Yeah.
Right. If you were really determined, sure, you could keep spinning up new Twitch accounts, and keep putting your own bots on them, but and then you're just doing it. It seems like that would be less appealing. Any kind of security is ultimately as effective as the saying of security is your website is as secure as the next door website is easy to hack. They probably say it better, but the idea is you need to be harder to hack than another target, and if it's more of a pain, then they'll pursue some other vector. You can never have completely secure security. There's always vulnerabilities.
You're just trying to create a greater hassle.
The bigger hassle it can be, then you're going to get hacked less, at least. So if you're making it more and more obstacles of okay, if I do this, this account will get banned. So then it's not just, oh, I can just spin up bots. It's I have to also keep making accounts. And then I've got to do that whole thing. And then you're like, you know, this different emails from the same IP. You're going to have to be switching IPs. Like, it becomes quite a hassle. You could eventually, you know, have a lot of things like, oh, this IP keeps spinning up more and more accounts. They keep getting banned. We'll block their IP. And then, okay, like, it's such a huge hassle to hate raid people at that point.
Yeah.
Less, probably.
Being an asshole is less of a hobby and more of a career.
Yeah.
You have to devote so much time to it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of find it crazy that like the hate raid thing is a new phenomenon with Twitch. Like, I'm kind of surprised like it took this long for something like this to kind of like become big, because it just seems like it was ripe for something like this to happen, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I man, it's just it doesn't make sense to me, right? I don't get it. I never will. Because why? What's why people just wanting to play fucking video games in their own goddamn homes for other fucking people to watch? What possesses you to like just wake up in the morning and just go?
To have that kind of energy, yeah.
Like, just like what is it? And I mean, that's not a question to be answered. I just don't understand it.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, man. Safe mode has been introduced by Streamlads, and that's a bot that will put the chat in emote mode only, put the chat in follower only mode, put the chat in subscriber only mode, disable chat alerts for followers, and clear the chat history with literally a click of the button.
That's kind of
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
Like a plugin you can have on your stream.
Yep. So a plugin you can instantly take over to any of your streams, and it'll do what it needs to do.
Just shut it down. Yeah, I mean that's
down.
the best thing that you can do is just have a tool that'll just shut it down and stop it in its tracks.
And then you go back in post and you find all that shit that happened and you delete and block all that shit, I guess. But it's just a hassle.
Huge workload.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge workload.
Yeah, like I've been a moderator on a Discord channel that got someone who was on the channel was stirring up trouble on like a different chat room that was somehow connected, and just like a bunch of trolls spilled in to the Discord channel, and just like we blocked a lot. It seemed like it was real people because we blocked a lot of them pretty fast and it stopped. But then it was just like, I think a solid hour of just going through and deleting vile shit.
Ugh.
It's so much work.
Y'all some bored ass people, man.
Yep.
Y'all some bored ass people. If you're listening to this fucking podcast and you're one of those people, you're some bored ass people. Come catch these hands.
Get off the internet.
Come catch
Get off
these
the
hands.
Come catch these hands.
Eric, you've been playing like a shitload of games, man.
I have been playing a shitload of games.
You've
I
been
got some new ones. I got some
streaming
new ones
some
I've been
stuff
playing
too.
too.
I watched you stream that Hot Wheels race, and the game looked great. Your skills, on the other hand,
Hey,
dude,
hey.
he was at first for like the first lap, and then just kept eating shit like second and third lap, and he kept like bragging too. And then he was like, "Okay, I'm probably not gonna catch up. I probably should shut up." And then he was done. One race, and he's like, "I gotta go, man. I gotta go shoot some."
Love it.
All
Love it.
right.
super fast.
Wait. The whole point of that stream was to do an audio test.
Yeah.
I logged in not even knowing I was going to play Hot Wheels. It was just the game next to the game that I was really going to stream. And so I logged into it and I was like, oh, fuck it. Since I'm here, I'll just do one race of Hot Wheels, because it's fun. And yes, it is very easy to eat shit in that game. That's kind of the point of the game, is that the tracks are constructed in a way where if you're not super careful, you're just going to go skittering off into a corner, and fly off the track because it's a Hot Wheels car on a Hot Wheels track. And so, but yeah, that game is dope. It is absolutely fantastic. I posted the review this week. I gave it a 9.5. The single player campaign is a ton of fun. And it gets you like a good starter set of cars, but the real hooks are like keeping racing and earning more cars and like building up your collection of Hot Wheels, all of which are totally recognizable. Like as soon as they pop up, you're like, oh, I had that one. And then so every now and then you get like a legendary car or a special car. Like I've got the Batmobile, I've got the Turtles van, I've got the
Nice.
the Back to the Future car, so some of that stuff is hiding in there too. And then the cool part is they're going to release modules for it, like DLCs. And so like the next one is going to be like DC superheroes. And I forget what the other ones are, Masters of the Universe, so there'll be like not just special new cars, but also like new pieces to build tracks,
Okay.
like Castle Grayskull or whatever the hell,
cool.
Oh, shit.
So it's really neat. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommended.
What systems is it on? Do you know?
Everything.
Okay.
It's on Switch. It's on PC. I was playing it on PS5. But yeah,
Nice.
I mean, it's all of the things. It's on all of the things. I have it on Steam as well, and it runs great on PC. So that is recommended.
And there's a track editor you said to it, so you can build your own stuff too.
Yeah, and I suck at the track editor. You get excited, and so you're
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
loop-de-loops. I'm going to do some loop-de-loops and some big hills. But what happens then is that it makes you verify your track before you can actually publish it, which means you have to run the track successfully. Kind of like a Mario level, right? Like
Right.
you have to run it before you can publish it. I could not. Even trying to make like a mellow track, like I'm just going to just try to complete one that, that I can verify just so I can publish one while I'm doing this review. Nah, can't do it. It's like, couldn't do it. The curves are too sharp. The hills are too banky, I
So
just am terrible at it.
So is it like a thing where if you're a really, really good driver, then you could make more complex tracks and successfully publish them?
Perhaps, or if you wanted
That's-
to go real slow. Like
That's kind of a cool metagame, though.
yeah. But I am looking forward to seeing what the community comes up with, because just
Mhm.
the areas that they give you to build the tracks in are super cool. They're like, a laboratory, and then you can go up into the ceiling and go through like the heating ducts and come
Oh,
back
cool.
down, and under the desk and over it's very, very cool.
Who knew? It sounds so good.
It is so good.
It
like,
looked fun. I mean,
good
it
is
looked
such a
fun
good word
watching
for it.
it. It looked like it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
like the Hot Wheels game came, well, I'd like to say it came sliding out of nowhere, but I've been keeping track of it for like the
Mhm.
last year, because they've been releasing all these trailers and so on, getting everybody prepared for it. But I think for the majority of people, it did come sliding out of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
people that weren't paying attention, the way that I was paying attention, because I get emails about it, but I'm sure the majority of gamers woke up and were like, what's this Hot Wheels game? But yeah, it's dope. Like very, very cool.
Yeah. Well, you had a couple of other things that you did not like nearly as much, right?
I did Astria Ascending, which is a JRPG by a French Canadian developer whose name slips my mind. Not terrible, but not the greatest either. Like the art design on it is absolutely
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it looks
It's
all
a
hand-drawn,
beautiful.
right?
Oh yeah, it's hand drawn and it is beautiful, and the animations are great. It's a turn-based battle system, so kind of a throwback to similar to Bravely Default, a throwback to like older Final Fantasy battle styles. But I had a few problems with it. One is that you start the game with your entire party of 8 right out of the gate.
Whoa.
So instantly you're controlling 8 sets of equipment,
Mm.
8 skill trees, 8 everything. And then
Weird.
pretty soon, like after like 3 or 4 hours, each of those characters gets a secondary job. So you have their initial job with its giant skill tree,
It's
and
like
then
their
a
class.
secondary job with a giant skill tree. And then they get 2 more as the game progresses, right?
My.
And so before long, you've got 32 skill trees that you're trying to like build on. And like just the act of going to the store to buy everybody the next level of weapon or whatever, it's like, oh my God, because they all have, the weapon, the armor, the trinkets, all that stuff. And so it's just a lot to manage. the other issue that I have with it is just that it is freaking hard. Like,
Yeah.
I have rarely played a JRPG where like I go into a new dungeon and the very first like trash mob that I run into just smokes me. Like just absolutely destroys me like in one turn. Sometimes even before you get a turn. Like this dumb dungeon monster is just like pow dead, you know. It's like, God, come on. Like over and over and over again. Like couldn't figure out how to, so then I had to go back and grind, you know, so then I could come back and beat this dumb dungeon monster, and then I get to the boss and boom, dead, you know, go back and grind, and it just too much, you know, like too much of that. Like I have no problem with grinding in games. Like I love JRPGs and I'm used to that grind, but it just like spikes so quickly over and over and over again. So like each time you move to the next thing, it's another spike.
Like a bad Hot Wheels track.
Go back and and so that was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
So
and
then I played Chernobylite, which I actually really enjoyed. That's a good game.
What's that about?
Yeah. It is it's about a scientist who was at Chernobyl during the Chernobyl disaster, and he is returning in present day to solve a mystery of what happened to his fiance during the disaster. And so they built the game in a 3D scanned version of the Chernobyl plant and the surrounding area. So like they actually went there and just scanned it all, and that's what they put their game in. And they had actually done that work previously for a Chernobyl VR experience a few years ago. And I think like they probably went back and like souped it up and got more, but yeah, so it's a first person RPG, but it also has like a lot of really cool base building stuff. So like you kind of like scurry around the area, like picking up materials and then taking them back to your base, and you're building like power generators and air purifiers and radiation showers, and then like crafting benches, and you make your weapons and so on and so forth. And
what are you fighting?
As you play, you get more and more team members who like come and live in your place, and so you're trying to like make it livable for them. And then the more livable it is, the happier they are, and you can send them out on missions to go get materials while you're going and doing the story missions. Okay. So it's a really cool structure, very creepy. Like I wouldn't say it's actually like scary, but it's got a real creepy like
atmosphere,
doll with wild eyes in the corner staring at you for no reason, like one of those deals.
Cool.
So yeah, it was cool. It was good. I enjoyed it.
You said you're like building.
Pretty set. Oh, sorry, Max. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. So you said you're building weapons in Chernobyl. Like, what are you fighting? Or is this like kind of fantasy too? Or is this?
Oh yeah. It's a horror game. Like people are going nuts. Like the main character has this tool where he can like open wormholes and slide between dimensions.
Okay.
And so there's like weird interdimensional creepy things, and then there's also like a bunch of just standard grunt soldier guys around. Okay. Typically I found it was better just to sneak past things than fight them, because the fighting mechanics kind of are a little jank. But it's perfectly viable just to like stealth your way kind of through a lot of the game and just sneak past dudes to accomplish your mission. So it was good, and definitely building weapons and armor and stuff like that. So the base building kind of reminded me a bit of Fallout's base building, but just without all the bullshit that makes Fallout's base building suck so hard. Like Fallout's is like you have to do the thing, and then you stretch the wire from the generator to the lamp, and then you got to put in like a servlet to hold the wires and move them out to the other. It's like a total pain in the ass.
Everything you're saying right now is exactly why I've never played a Fallout game.
Yeah, I mean, the base building is just like a small piece of the game. Like most of Fallout is just wander around and shoot things and get cool loot.
I didn't even know it was base building.
But the base building, there's times that it makes you engage with it, and it's a pain in the ass. In this game, you seriously just build shit and just throw it in the room, like wherever you want. So it's much more like The Sims, where you're like rearranging your furniture and like just kind of putting stuff. And if there's enough power, the thing just works, and you don't have to worry about like the power grid and all that shit. So yeah, that's a cool one. And then the last thing is Joe and I took a swing at Diablo 2
Mhm.
earlier this week. And it was Joe's first Diablo game.
Ever.
And I'm kind of curious now after the fact about what your impressions were.
Yeah,
'Cause
Joe,
it's-
why did you not play a Diablo? Was it just not,
I don't
not your
know.
thing,
I don't
or-
think I was into like those kind of dungeon crawling games back in the day.
Okay.
I didn't have a gaming PC. I was all console. So Diablo 2, from what I understand,
I think it was PC.
did it come
only,
out
right?
on PlayStation? It was PC only. Yeah.
I thought Diablo
Yeah.
3 was the first
Yeah.
Diablo, yeah,
No,
you're
so-
right. Yeah. Diablo
think
3
my-
was the first to the console.
consoles. Yeah.
And if it was 20 years ago, the closest thing I came to a PC, this was my cousin, and he's the only one that had
Cousins of
anything
PC.
that would run anything. Cousin had a PC.
Eric laughed. I get it. It counts.
Yeah, shut up. I thought it was cool. I definitely want to play Diablo 3 just to kind of see the
it's
difference,
very good.
because Eric kept reminding me that it was a 20-year-old game, and I kept picking up everything. And I was just like, why can't I have this? What did he keep saying, Eric, when you keep picking up things?
I'm overburdened.
I'm overburdened. I was just like, if memes were around back then, boy, good God. But I just kept picking up things. But I think once after that first hour or so, once you got into it and you stopped picking up everything, I thought it was super cool. I think again, it would be a lot better with nothing against Eric, because me and Eric was kicking some ass. But I think it would be a lot cooler with 8 people. And I get why it was so popular back in the day, because 8-player online 20 years ago, it's got to be pretty sweet. Was it 4-player online back then? I don't know. Was it?
I think it was 4 back then. If I'm not
Was it 4 back
mistaken.
then?
I think so.
It's 8 now, right, Eric? Is that,
Yeah.
is that-
Yeah,
so-
we decided it was 8. Yeah.
So that's got to be pretty cool. So I would love to play it with like 8-player online, go through, complete some stuff, kick some ass, and
What
be done
class
with it.
did you play?
Necromancer?
Nice. It's the right one for Diablo 2, baby. It's the best one.
Yeah, I almost went with Necromancer, and my daughter was like, no, the sorceress. And so I was like, all right, we'll be the sorceress. And I was stuck with that damn sorceress, and Joe was running around with like armies of skeletons, and I was just like, ice ray. It was like not as cool. But yeah, I mean, the first time I fired it up, because I played for a couple hours before Joe joined in, I guess I was a little taken aback at just how like old school the game design really is. Like it is some old school game design, and I know that it's just a remaster of the game, but like I don't know why I was expecting them to like change the quests to make them more
Yeah.
comprehensible, or like give you a map so you could see where you're supposed to go. I mean, like just these modern gaming conventions that weren't part of that game back then. And I just kind of thought, well, they're going to modernize Diablo 2. No, they did not modernize Diablo 2 at all. It's still the like there are some quality of life things, like it's easier to like put your potions in your belt, stuff like that. But it's still the same like difficult inventory management system, and the same like you get a quest and it's like, go past the lost woods out into the stony forest and find the temple and go in there, and like it's just one sentence and you're like, well, fucking where's the lost woods? Like I don't even know where the lost woods are. I guess I'm just gonna wander around and kill shit until I find it,
Right.
So there's like no waypoints or anything like that, nothing steering you. And then of course every time you restart it's procedurally generated. So if you leave the game, that iteration of the stony forest is gone, and when that shit used to be over here, now it could be over on the other side. So
I did not know that. That sounds
yeah. So it definitely is a 20-year-old game, That said, like Joe said, once you get going on it, you understand why people fell in love with it 20 years ago.
Yep. And
But don't go into it thinking you're getting Diablo 3 level quality of life stuff, because this ain't that,
Right. So, yeah, I think we should all play it, honestly. But whenever we can, it'd be cool.
Whenever,
But I thought overall it was good. I thought overall it was good. Honestly, I liked it.
I had a good
enjoyed
time.
it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing, and I
I love
definitely
playing dungeon crawlers with Eric anyway, but because Blitworks.
Blitworks.
We love that Blitworks, and then even the Tales Tales of Midgard that we were all playing. That was
Tales
fun
of
too.
Talos.
What was the
The
Midgard?
Talos principle.
What was the Midgard title that
Oh,
we all played, Elliot?
Not Valheim. Oh my god.
there is something about Midgard that came out this year.
Tribes of Midgard. You're right. Tribes
of
of Midgard.
Midgard.
Tribes
Sorry.
of Midgard. There you go.
I literally played that game for I've put in 30 hours. I'm like, oh yeah, it's that. Yeah.
Maybe not the best name.
Well, I
But yeah,
confuse
that
it
is a
and
good game.
Valheim a lot, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice.
Yeah, dungeon crawls are always better with friends.
Yeah, I'm
This-
a big
this
dungeon
bottom
crawl
line.
guy.
Back to the Gauntlet days.
We almost played Gauntlet for PlayStation for Games and More, and not enough people had it. So, but we almost
really?
We almost because I guess there's a version out there for the PlayStation 4. I guess
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but we almost all downloaded it and played it, and nobody
had it.
nobody wanted to do it. So whatever.
Sad times.
Sad time.
Max,
So yeah, those are the games I've been playing, and I got newer games, but I can't talk about them. And you were trying to pivot to Max, and I totally just talked right
that's
over
fine.
you.
No.
But I can just keep right on going.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, keep going.
Why
Keep
stop
More
now,
games,
right?
more games,
More games.
games, and more games, and more.
I don't have time to review it, but I'm going to be checking out Rogue Lords tomorrow. It launches tomorrow, and so I'm probably going to be doing an hour or two of that and throwing it up on YouTube. It's a Darkest Dungeon style RPG roguelike, which looks very cool. You play as Satan, and you have Dracula and Frankenstein.
You've awakened back. I almost was interested in reviewing it, but I was like, oh, it'll take forever to beat properly.
So
It
many
just
games.
looks like a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a game. Yeah, and Darkest Dungeon is known for being difficult as shit, and this game is very Darkest Dungeon like. So, there's too much other shit going on. So, anyhow, sorry, Max, what do you got going on?
Hey, Max.
Oh man. So I finished up play. So I didn't see a lot of news this week because I don't pay a ton of attention. And I finished up playing Control last week, which was excellent.
Oh, you
Thank
played
you.
it. You played it.
Yes, I just finished it up.
Great, wonderful. Did you like it?
Dude, Control is a wonderful game.
It is.
It was
so
a delight.
describe it to us, because I'm not super familiar.
So Control is, when did it come out? 2017 or something? 2018 maybe? It was
18
a little bit
or
ago.
19.
18,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couple years
and
back.
it's like a third-person action game where you show up in this cool brutalism architecture government building, and it's pretty mysterious. You know you're there because the player keeps referring in second person to be like, all right, you led me here. And you're like, what is going on? And it sort of unravels that this is a secret government thing that's been investigating the paranormal. And it's always been there. Just no one's known about it. And it does a great job doing the atmosphere of if you, do any of you guys follow, there's this Twitter account called Liminal Spaces.
No.
It's great. It's just pictures of things like a hallway with fluorescent lights underground. And it's just, or a daycare-esque building with that kind of carpet that from a daycare but no furniture in it, or a street at night with no one on it and one of the lights is out, or I don't know how to describe it well, but it's just sort of kind of lonely, interesting spaces that imply a much greater story through their visuals. And it's just sort of a genre of pictures. And that sort of mood and atmosphere is, I think, really intriguing. If you've ever been at an office you work at, but you've come back after hours and there's no one there, or if you were ever at school, you went back to your high school at night, after a theater production or something, and it's empty, and it's the familiar but twisted in a disconcerting way because you're so familiar with the context, but the context is all wrong.
You are nailing this, Max.
He is.
You are crushing this. Yeah.
So Yeah, that is what Control, that is its hook, is it's a familiar building with, lots of file cabinets. It's got the 70s aesthetic, which is really fun. The in game they give the lore of that as like, hey, there's posters on the wall that say, don't bring in modern technology, you know why. Like and there'll be, and so then it starts out with that, and you're just like, why am I in this weird space? And you come across this janitor who's like kind of weird. He's like, oh, hey, I know, I see you're here. Well, the elevator's open for you. And you come around a corner and you're like in the place you were before. You've gone in a circle, but there's an elevator there now that wasn't there before. It's like that kind of vibe. And you go up and you gradually uncover more and more like things that have gone horribly wrong in this building. You come across like, oh, it's like, oh my gosh. So let me talk about the posters on the wall. One of my favorite things about this game is they'll have posters like, delays caused by building shifts do not count towards overtime. Like, and you can like find reports in filing cabinets that are like, just like, notice to all employees, make sure you remember where your desk is. If you find yourself in a office that is like your office, but your desk is missing, please notify someone immediately. Just like the idea that all this mysterious magic, or not magical, but like creepy other dimensional stuff can happen and it's normal is really great. And then more and more the fucked up shit comes in where you're like reading reports about like how these, oh, and this person, all that we found left was they had, okay. A really good example is, there's this mission later in the game. You have a better idea of what's going on. And there's this guy in a room and there's a refrigerator.
I was hoping I was going to bring this up if you didn't bring it up, because it's like my favorite.
Oh, do you want to tell it?
No, you go ahead. It's
okay.
It's more fresh with you. So
yeah. So you're walking around this, it's called the Panopticon, where they keep an eye on all the altered objects that they found. And so this dude is just staring at this refrigerator and he's freaking out. He's like, hey, oh my God, are you here? No one's coming to get me. I can't take my eyes off the refrigerator. I can't blink. Can you help me? And you're, Jessie, the character you play as, she's like, yeah, what's going on? And he's like, just get someone. I've been here so long. And, so you go down, you find there's like a supervisor who's like, oh, fuck, I forgot about Carl or whatever his name is. He's like, oh, okay, here's what you got to do. I'll unlock the door, go in there, and like, can you keep an eye on the refrigerator? And she's like, the one you play as is just like, I'll deal with the refrigerator. This is not a good system that we have in place here. So you go up and you can see him through a glass window. And you like press the microphone button. It's sort of like a jail where you can talk through the window. And you're like, hey, I've unlocked the door. I'm coming to get you. And he's like, come on, I can't. I'm going to blink. And you go around the corner. And as you're opening the door, you just hear like, he just stops talking. And she's like, Carl. And you open the door and it's just like the refrigerator hasn't moved, but there's like blood leaking out of the bottom. And you're like, what happened to Carl? And then you do your sort of, she's like, her thing is a bit chosen one-y. She's sort of psychic and she can interact with the mysterious things going on in the building. And you sort of teleport into the refrigerator's dimension and fight this eldritch monster. It's very hard to describe because it's an eldritch monster. And eventually sort of placate the problem with the refrigerator. As it were.
It's just so full of weird stuff. Like you come around a corner and you just never know what you're going to see. There's one area that has a clock that can't stop reproducing. Yes. And so there's just like a million of this one clock, like just leaking all over the place, like filling rooms, falling down the corridors, It's just
and the way they describe that, they're just like, because the dude who introduces you to that, he's like, he's wounded and he's like, oh, I just got out of the clocks. And Jesse's like, what are the clocks? He's like, oh, it's a threshold space that's connected to the building through a certain dimension, but not another way. And it's called the clocks because of the clocks. And you're like, all right. And you go down there and it's like you said, just like mountains of clocks, just like filling up rooms that you like slide down. So weird. So good.
Yeah, but the other piece of the game that's so fun is the combat. Like Jessie very quickly gains psychic abilities. So like she can just like rip pieces off the wall and hurl them at dudes, or like pick up desks with her mind and like throw it down the corridor at people and they just pop. And like it got to a point in the game where after a while I stopped using my gun because I was just flinging shit all over the place and using that as the combat system. And it's really good, satisfying,
Feels so
difficult at times combat. How did you feel about towards the end of the game? Did you have any problems? Max, you're a much better gamer than I am. Did you have any problems like beating some of those last missions?
Not too much. So I think we might have talked about Control before on the show, and you mentioned that you had frame rate issues.
Yeah.
Which same. I'm playing this on just like an original PS4, not the Pro version. And I think one of the most impressive things about this game on a technical level is all that when Eric says you're ripping pieces out of the wall or like ripping up desks, you're not like pulling up the model. You will be ripping things apart, and there are physics and like debris that goes flying everywhere. And just the physics simulation in this game is crazy. So like
it's fun to walk into the lunchroom and just throw some shit into the lunchroom to watch all the chairs fly in every direction. You know, like cool stuff like that.
If you rip up a desk, you won't just like take up the desk model, but like there'll be 5 or 6 binders on the desk that will all fall off, and the computer and the legs might fall off the desk, or the drawers will fall out. You'll have papers flying everywhere. So like the biggest problem for me was frame rate issues in those later fights in those like kind of busy rooms where I'd go to like fling a desk and I'd hit someone who was too close, and the really, really cool particle effects when a dude explodes, which are not gory. They're like a rainbow kind of mist because of the weird things that these people have been transformed into. That really just killed me. And it would just freeze up, and it would, like freeze and then unfreeze, and I'd be dead.
And you'd be dead. Exactly.
Yeah, what happened?
Exactly. Okay, so when Control came out, like I loved it, but I had to score it, and I ended up giving it a 7. And the reason I gave it a 7 was just purely technical. And that case you just cited is almost word for word what I put in my review. Like the frame rate would freeze. By the time it caught up, I would be like reloading because I was killed. And it could be devastatingly frustrating when you go in like one of those half-hour fights and you're on the last guy and that frame rate freezes up, and then you lose the whole thing. You have to start over again. So, and I got a little bit of shit for giving it a 7, and I had to kind of defend that because I was like, no, like I really love this game. Like I really, really like it. But in certain places, like it just doesn't work, like it's almost broken.
I think they've made some changes. So playing it this past month, I don't know if one thing, when you played, did they have like the really, really involved difficulty and option settings?
No.
Okay, then they've added those in.
There were no difficulty options at all.
They give you things like a slider for how much damage you take to modify the amount of damage or like how much damage you deal. They're like those kinds of options. It's very, very configurable.
Oh,
or harder.
Gotcha.
Up to you,
man. I would have straight slid that down to easy to get through some of those last fights because it was so hard. So yeah, that's awesome that they did that.
That's what I ended up doing for the last fights. Like I didn't think I was gonna have a problem with them like playing wise, but just because like the frame rate was not great. So I just slid it down like a couple of notches, and that was enough for me to kill them before the frame rate really, like instead of 3 dudes still coming at me, there's just 1 or 2. So
no, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah. And then
I'm so glad you played it.
Also made, I think I never had the problem with like when I would go through those later encounters where you're doing like sort of like 5 or 6 waves of enemies, it just put you back at the one you died on.
Oh,
so like the
nice.
earlier waves, you've already done that. Keep going.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So fantastic game. I'm definitely going to play it again when I have a PS5 and can like fully appreciate everything.
Yeah. Joe, if you're interested, it's going to be on Stadia Pro in 2 days.
It's on Xbox Game Pass right now.
Is it on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On that Series S. I might have to check it out.
Definitely worth a look, man. Like it's worth a download just to play a couple hours of it and just kind of get a feel for the vibe and see if you like it. But I bet you'll like it. Everybody likes it.
I'm in. After these other 3 games that I got to get through.
Yeah.
So many games.
So
many games.
Last thing before we go, I'm interested. So when's the embargo up for Monkey Ball, Joe?
Today.
Okay. So Joe took on a written review for Super Monkey Ball, and I have not read it yet, but I'm curious how it went. Like what was the process like trying to write your first review?
So, I looked over it. So you sent me. Everybody needs to know that Eric sent me kind of a breakdown of how to kind of do a review.
Nice.
And I glanced over it, and then I looked over it again, and I compared it with my review, and I will tell you that it looks nothing like you suggested. I was just like,
Good. Well, you're already on the right track, man.
I took every bit of how this game made me feel, and I threw it into this review. And when I felt it got long-winded toward the end, I was like, I'm going to talk about these next things in 5 words or less. and I broke it down like that. This game, I don't, my first review with this game is so jam-packed with stuff. It's not even funny. They took Super Monkey Ball 1, Super Monkey Ball 2, and Super Monkey Ball Deluxe and threw it in this game. They revamped all those levels, threw it in this game. There's a casual, there's a expert, there's a super version of those boards, then there's a super expert version of those boards. There are 12 random party games that they just threw into the motherfucker. So the review it starts off where I'm like, I played my first Monkey Ball game at GameWorks like a long time ago, and I haven't played one since because I thought it was easy and it became hard immediately, and I got pissed off and said,
GameWorks was
game.
like Dave and Buster's kind of a place.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that.
And so I'm playing this game and I'm breezing through it, and it just starts getting so hard, and I was like, what the fuck? But I wrote that review. All my feelings are in that review. All my feelings, and then I even word checked it, and I think your word count said something like 1,200, and I was like, and like I think I got to like 1,000, but
That's fine. Grand is fine.
I tried. I really tried, and you're gonna look at it and be like, man, he really feels all kinds of ways about this game. But I don't know. I didn't talk about the graphics because it's Super Monkey Ball. It's the graphics. I said it, HD 60 frames per second. I said it like that. And I tried to put those details in there. I didn't talk about the music. I didn't talk about that. I talked about the features of the game, which I'm telling you, it's almost overwhelming. That's how many features are in the game. Accessibility. We were talking about sliders and everything. You can click a button that says you cleared the level without clearing the level.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can completely skip a level. You're just like, no,
Nice.
fuck it. It doesn't record. It doesn't give you like in-game currency, and it doesn't record your time so you can upload it to your online rankings. But you can completely skip the. So all that's
great.
in there. All that's in. I took all this information and said, and then I was like, oh wait, this is getting long. And then I was like,
Nice.
No, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm looking forward to reading it.
But it was fun to do. But I don't see how you guys find the time to do it all the time. I won't say that. I'm like, how is this possible? How do you guys review games?
My process is
play
I take my laptop, I sit on the bed, I allocate like 2 hours, and I just sit there and pound it out.
Yeah.
Like it's like, to me, this is the price I pay for
That
video
sounds kinda
games. Like this is me earning my video games, the sitting on the bed time.
I will tell you that it was easy to do it for the Switch because then I could, go back to the Switch, the handheld version, have it sit right here, and then type on the computer, and then go, oh wait, and go back to click my Switch, and then go back to typing. So I was going back and forth with that too, because I've played this game for 3 whole days, and I still went down to write, and I was like, oh wait, this has to be a little bit more structured. It was all over the place. So, but writing my first review is not like script writing, that's for sure. It's tough.
It's a different discipline. Yeah.
It is. It definitely is. So I commend anybody who's out there reviewing games. If I shitted on you for your shitty scores, I'm sorry.
Well, look for Joe's review on GamingNexus.com in the next day or two. We're gonna get that bad boy posted, and
Nice.
give him all the credit in the world for taking a swipe at it, man.
Can't believe it. Can't believe I even did it. It's crazy.
Give him 6 months and maybe he'll want to try it again.
Oh, I'll definitely try it again. Yes.
All right, cool.
Will recommend. 5 stars.
Right on.
Will recommend.
Nice. Well, cool. I guess that's gonna do it for us this week. Do we want to mention that we're gonna be at GDEX?
We
Yeah,
probably should mention that we're going to
Yeah,
be at
absolutely.
Yeah.
You just mentioned it.
There you
Well,
go.
let's get
And-
some details. So, GDEX is a convention in Columbus, Ohio for video games or game development or game developers or people who play games.
Everything.
all of the above.
Yes.
All the things.
If you know about a video game or a tabletop game, because this year it's combined with the Origins Game Fair, which is a super ancient, always been running board game convention that has been in Columbus since 99 or something.
Forever.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're happening both. They're both happening this weekend, and we are going to be doing a live show on Friday at 4 p.m. somewhere in the depths of the convention center.
Yep. We're going in a room. We're taking some microphones and a computer, and we're going to do it in front of however many people show up.
Mhm.
Could be none.
Could
Could
be
be 10.
lots. I don't know.
Could be 50. We just don't know.
So
I
if you're
think when we
yeah.
get there early, we might have to wander around being like, hey, you want to come watch us do our podcast? Like, hey, what's up?
Hey.
Come watch us do our
The
podcast.
game I made does require some participation, audience participation. As
Oh, that'll be funny if
They're
it's
the
like one person.
voters. So if it's just like 1 or 2 people, we'll be like, oh, they get to choose the outcome of the argument we have.
the tyranny of the minority.
So
So yeah, if you're
Cool.
listening and you're thinking about going to GDEX or Origins and want to catch our live show, that'll be at 4 p.m. in a room. We'll put it on Twitter and stuff. We'll put it in the
Yeah,
show. Elliot
put it
will put it in
everywhere.
the show notes.
oh yeah. Elliot will
Oh,
not.
Oh,
Yeah.
look it up. It's in
Elliot,
an email.
put it in the show notes.
You just gotta check your email and it's there.
Jeez.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
I think it is.
Sure
I think
it
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely is.
it's in the email.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how I feel in half an hour.
Wow. Wow.
Anyway,
Elliot's-
other than that,
Elliot's too old to put it in the show notes.
Oh, one thing real quick. Just a general note. I was a guest star on
oh, that's right. I meant to mention
Hitch.
that too.
Yeah, I was on Hitchcock Chronologically. The episode just dropped today. So
That's
the,
another
the
podcast.
The podcast is Hitchcock Chronologically, and I was on an episode talking about Rear Window.
Yeah, with a friend of the show, Jeff, who was on.
Friend of the show, Jeff. Yeah.
Who was on the
and
week
it-
that you weren't here, Joe, and that's why you're making that face.
Son of
Was-
a bitch.
A
Oh, yeah,
really
you-
fun conversation. So yeah, if you have a chance, go look that up wherever you get your podcast. It's a great show.
It's
he's
a
doing
great
cool
show.
thing.
The premise is like this year he's literally watching one Hitchcock movie a week and reviewing it, and there happens to be 52 Hitchcock movies. So
Oh, yeah.
so he literally started at the beginning of the year and he's going to end at the end of the year. It's really like he kind of got lucky how he kind of rolled into that, but the concept's awesome. And the beginning half of the series was really interesting because it was stuff like you'd never even remotely heard of. It was soundless movies to talkies. It's really kind of spans a very wide area of like filmography. And now he's to
Yeah.
the really good stuff. Like I think
Now
I'm
he's to
gonna
the
be
good
on in a
stuff.
couple weeks. I think you're
Yeah,
are
I'm
you going
gonna-
back on again, right?
Yeah, I'm recording another one this Sunday, but it won't be out until like November. We're gonna do Vertigo, so I'm pretty jazzed.
I
I've
think
never
I'm
seen
doing.
it. So.
I think I'm doing North by Northwest, which I've never seen.
Oh, that's awesome.
So. Anyway,
Very cool.
You
Anyway.
know, when I heard Rear Window, I was thinking of Secret Window with Johnny Depp, and I was like, why
That
Rear
is not the
Window?
same movie.
Oh.
When you said
It's not
Secret
the same
Window,
movie.
I was
Terrible.
thinking of Secret Garden.
Secret Windows.
Oh, it backs on Secret Garden.
Secret Garden.
Secret Garden.
Secret Window was based on the novella Secret Window, Secret Garden by Stephen King.
Stephen
so-
King. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the bad Stephen King movies.
Yeah, Secret Window was terrible.
You know what's a good Stephen King movie? The Mist.
The Mist is great.
The Mist is so great.
It's so good.
What's the
Have you-
Langoliers one? That one's a good one.
No,
Langoliers?
you
What'd you
can't
say?
compare the Langoliers with The Mist.
Like,
The
okay.
Langoliers is a miniseries with
That's
Balky.
true.
The Mist
Yeah, that's
is
right.
an awesome monster movie
Hold
with
on,
the
but,
darkest
like,
ending
That's-
in history.
It's all the
Aren't
time we
there-
have for
Yeah.
Gaming Nexus podcast.
Totally
folks.
just fade out on that
Fucking-
conversation.
God damn it, Elliot. What is wrong with you? Why? Why do you ruin everything?
Those Langoliers scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I like Bag of Bones with Remington Steele. That was a good one. I like that
speaking
one.
of people with Remy in the name, Ratatouille.
Patton Oswalt's in this show we've been watching on Peacock called AP Bio.
Oh,
Very
AP
funny.
Bio is so good.
So funny.
Oh.
It's dark and weird and funny.
Are you guys
Patton
still listening?
Oswalt. It's like Paddington Bear, which those are great movies.
The highest reviewed movie of all time, Paddington Bear 2
Two?
on
yeah,
Rotten
yeah.
Tomatoes.
I've never seen it.
Wait,
No,
what?
They're actually really good. They're very good movies. It's
I
They are
really
good
want to
movies.
watch
Hold
it.
on,
it's
what?
shocking how good they are.
Paddington Bear 2 is the highest rated movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's apparently not
I think somebody broke it.
99%.
Yeah, it had 100 for the longest, and then like
Some dick.
2 years after it came out, some dick like did a bad review and broke the record.
Yeah. No, it's you would think like you're like there's no way this movie's that great, but it's like it's great. It's a great movie. Both
Yeah,
of them are
they're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah,
On that
Eddie,
note-
on that
Eddie
note.
It was Eddie Harrison, you dick, from FilmAuthority.com. You fuck. Way to ruin everything, you asshole. Now we
Film
get into it.
Authority. There we go.
I really think it'd be
Good.
funny if you just like faded down the audio. On
Oh,
All right, should we say our names?
yes, please.
Eric.
Max.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Joseph. Joseph.
You're
Max.
just giving me a reason to leave all of this in. That's all you're doing. It's all you guys are doing. This is just more content.